Welcome back to our opening cup of the 2026 season here at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. I am Dennis Geisler. I have Fuecoco with me, and we have a real exciting one. Two players at 3-1 in round number 5 out of 6. It's Arnie Wolf and Benny Vasquez. This is a rematch of a win and in, I believe, for Top Cut at Toronto last year, and that speaks to how good both of these players are. Arnie is running the Golden Go, Kilowattrel, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Porygon 2, and Ursaluna. Benny with the Rillaboom, Dragonite, Annihilate, Golden Go, Mousehold, and Ursaluna Blood Moon. Both very similar teams that pack a lot of the best Pokemon of the format. Well, not actually very similar teams. They just kind of both have a Bear and Golden Go. Both pack a lot of the best Pokemon of the format, and both have a lot of kind of different ways to operate during a battle. I would like to see that Kilowattrel, because I have not seen this Kilowattrel come out when I've seen Arnie play with this team. On Benny's side, it's just such a good team that has so many good Pokemon, so many good Pokemon that are the best parts of the metagame, and somehow he makes them work. Annihilate and Ursaluna on Benny's side against Kilowattrel and Golden Go on Arnie's. I'm curious what the Ursaluna is going to go for here. The damage on Benny's side isn't astounding, but neither is Arnie's side, particularly before a nasty plot. So I don't know what Arnie's going to want to go for here. I don't know. There are certainly KOs being threatened here, but not absurd damage necessarily. And there are certainly a lot of switching and reads that are possible here. It's going to be the Ursaluna switching in for Arnie. I like that because you do get the Flame Orb active. Then he's going to Terra, actually, turn number 1. It's going to be the Terra Fire for the Annihilate. Pretty standard for the Annihilate at this point. But we'll let it take an Air Slash much more comfortably, and goes for Rage Fist into the Ursaluna, which does not do anything. The Hyper Voice will do some strong damage, pretty good to the Kilowattrel, and solid chunk to the Ursaluna as well. And now, if you are Arnie, what do you do? After just going through I mean, because the Ursaluna is going to take strong damage against Annihilate, although not crazy damage. Rage Fist is quite a bit stronger than Drain Punch, which at this point, a lot of the Annihilates are running the same set. Annihilate's going to switch on out of there. It's going to be Rillaboom coming in, so it'll set terrain, and it will provide some fake-out pressure for Benny. Kilowattrel will Tailwind, which sets up the speed control for Arnie's side. And the Facade, Guts boosted, into the Ursaluna, not enough to KO, barely not enough to KO, and the Blood Moon the other direction will pick up the Ursaluna. That is a real tough amount of damage right there. It was very, very close for Arnie picking that one up, but without it, it's going to be pretty difficult for Arnie here. Still have to deal with the Ursaluna, despite the Protect being available. Terra is also down for Benny now, which means that the Rillaboom could be targeted down. There is still the Golden Go in the back. There is the Porygon 2 on the field now. I don't know what this Porygon 2 wants to go for here. It's going to be the Fake Out into the Porygon, which means the Air Slash does come through onto the Rillaboom. It's good damage. Porygon 2 flinches, of course, and the Hyper Voice going to pick up the Kilowatt Roll and do not a ton of damage, actually, to the Porygon 2. It leaves Ursaluna and Rillaboom on fairly low HP, but Benny's entire team is still technically standing. Some with fairly low HP, but all of them are still there. And that makes it a little bit difficult for Arnie to have to manage. Vacuum Wave into the Golden Go. That does really good damage, actually. The Make It Rain from the Golden Go should pick up both these targets. It sure does. Smart of Benny to go for the Vacuum Wave there to pick up what damage where he could. Golden Go will take a little bit of the Life Orb chip as well, and Porygon 2 will recover. Arnie does still have the Terra on the Porygon 2 available. See if he wants to go for that for the win here. Mousehold will come in as well, final Pokemon for Benny. And it's an interesting spot to be in because Annihilate can't Rage Fist the Porygon 2 right now. It could if Arnie Terastallized. Obviously that would make Terastallizing a bad choice potentially for Arnie, but it does give you better damage overall. So we'll see what the choice is now. It's going to be the Terra for Arnie, but it's on to the Golden Go. Mousehold will protect, so no beat up this turn. Annihilate will also protect, so it's just a stalling out of this turn, but that could be good for Arnie, because I believe this is the last turn of Tailwind. Golden Go went for Nasty Plot. Wow, Arnie might have read the double protect here. If Arnie read this as a double protect, got the Trick Room up, that is really good for Arnie, because now you have the Porygon 2, which is the fastest / slowest thing left here. Yeah, the Tailwind's down and the Trick Room is up. That is a really nice little play for Arnie there, and might just win him this set. Still not a guarantee right now. It's going to rely on a lot of Porygon 2 damage here. Mousehold will follow me, which makes a lot of sense. Got to draw away as much of the pressure from Annihilate as possible. Porygon 2 will move first, of course. Does good damage to the Mousehold here. Golden Go will move next and gets the Make It Rain down. Good damage to the Annihilate, takes out the Mousehold. The Annihilate doesn't do something pretty crazy here. This game's over. It's a Rage Fist. It'll do good damage into the Golden Go, but don't know if it has much of a chance of getting through the the Porygon 2. The grass will also disappear from the battlefield, and I believe one more Terra Blast should do it for Arnie here. And you can definitely see a little bit. Oh, well, we're going to get a Protect first. Hold on. I suppose the only way out of this for Benny is protecting all the way through the Trick Room turns and then getting some Drain Punches down onto the Porygon 2, but I don't know that it's very realistic. There's the Terra Blast. And it picks up the KO. Arnie Wolf with the Game 1 victory. Very nicely played. Definitely took a lot more damage on the Ursaluna than would have been ideal, but played really well against in that Tail Room format, where you have the Tailwind up, and then you get the Trick Room up, all in the right kind of timing. Just in general, it was really well played for Arnie. And we'll see how Benny wants to change things up this time. Good double up early into the Kilowatt Roll to try to prevent some of the early damage there. could do something a little different with the Annihilate. Of course, went with a Rage Fist into what turned into Ursaluna turn number 1 for the Annihilate, which was not ideal, and it meant that the Blood Moon took a bunch of damage after that. It did get the KO, but I mean, as much as Blood Moon did participate a lot, the Ursaluna on Arnie's side did get a nice chunk of damage down that wasn't really available anywhere else. And you can see Arnie's thinking pretty hard about what he wants to do for game number 2 here, knowing that Benny won't fall for the exact same tricks. Ultimately ends up locking in, I think, his game 1 lead. See what Benny wants to go for. We'll get lock-ins from both these players. And we will get underway. It is a cup. You can see it's a cup. Very exciting. Rillaboom Ursaluna from Benny, so a bit of a shift there. It's going to be the Golden Go Kilowatt Roll for Arnie once again. The Rillaboom is a bit of a change here. It means that the Kilowatt Roll can't just attack on turn number 1. Does make turn 1 a little bit awkward for Arnie, but it could just be a double protect. And that wouldn't be... Yeah, I don't think there's anything that would go wrong with a double protect here. Although Benny definitely knows that's a possibility and could switch around that. Kilowatt Roll protect. And we'll see the Golden Go protect. I assume we'd see something like a Fake Out there, and then like, I don't know, like an Earth Power or something. Maybe a Blood Moon. It's an Earth Power. Makes sense. Yeah, Blood Moon doesn't make a ton of sense and be resisted. But now, Arnie is able to operate freely without risk of a Fake Out and without risk of basically any outspeeding here. I think Arnie is just faster. Look at the Grassy Glide into the Golden Go. Could also go for the Vacuum Wave, but no Vacuum Wave there. Just the Air Slash going to take Rillaboom. Bunch of damage from it. And Make It Rain. Takes out the Rillaboom. Doesn't do a ton of damage to the Ursaluna. It is Assault Vest after all. But Rillaboom is out of the way for Arnie. And we'll see if Benny wants to double up into the Golden Go. We'll take it out in return. So 1 for 1 that turn. Leaving the bear and the bird standing. We'll get the special attack increase on the download. Switching in here, mouse hold, the other one switching in. Both these targets weak to fighting here if the Porygon wants to go for the Terra Blast. Of course, there's still a possibility that could just go for the baseline damage and see what happens. See the Thunderbolt into the Mousehold? That's good damage there, and gets the paralysis off of it. Really nice there for Arnie. Super Fang does go into the Porygon 2, takes away half of its HP. Terra Blast coming right back to Mousehold and will pick up the KO. And Blood Moon into the Porygon 2 will not pick up the KO. 5 HP away. You can see Arnie's pretty excited about that. And that's real tough for Benny, now down to his last 2 Pokemon here. Kilowattrel will outspeed both, and so Kilowattrel can kind of make its choice of what it wants to try to go for here. Could try to get a Tailwind up for the remainder of the team. It still has its Sash active as well. Could go for an Air Slash into the Annihilate. We know that does pretty good damage. It could go for a Thunderbolt into the Annihilate. Lots of options. Lots and lots of options here for Arnie. Annihilate will protect here. See what the bear goes for. Not a Vacuum Wave. We would have already seen the hit if it was. So we're going to see Ursaluna get hit by a pretty big Ice Beam. Not enough to KO, but pretty good damage. And the Hyper Voice comes through. Good damage onto the Kilowattrel. And picks up the Porygon 2, but that's still a pretty tough spot for Benny to be in, with this Ursaluna coming in here. Returns of Tailwind still available to Arnie's side, and he might make use of all of them. Kilowattrel and Ursaluna will do the double protect thing here. Gonna try to get the Guts boost up for Ursaluna. Annihilate goes for the Drain Punch into the Ursaluna. Not going to get anything done there. We'll see what the Blood Moon wants to do. It was a Hyper Voice. And I wonder if that would be enough to pick up KOs here. Of course, assuming that the Blood Moon outspeeds the Annihilate, Arnie's in a very good spot regardless, being able to Earthquake right here. We'll see it. This could be the end of the set right here, and almost certainly punch Arnie's ticket into Top Cut. Not almost certainly, very likely punch Arnie's ticket into Top Cut. We've been talking behind the scenes about the rest of the odds here, but regardless, we're going to see the Terra here for Arnie. That is the Terra Ghost Ursaluna. And Annihilate protects. So no downside for Arnie there as the Annihilate protects. It was Vacuum Wave into Kilowattrel. Does not KO. I like the thought from Benny there. But not enough to pick up. And the Earthquake will get rid of the Blood Moon eventually. And now it is simply Annihilate versus the final two here. Annihilate still has not terastallized. It has the ability to, it could. Although it probably doesn't want to, because then it would be weak against the... Yep, and Benny just cancels the battle. Arnie Wolf with a 2-0 victory in round number 5. Really, really nicely played there. Again, Benny's such a good player with such a good team, but Arnie always kind of felt like he had the upper hand there, and I was making a lot of really good calls early on in that set. And definitely made the Kilowattrel work. I haven't really talked a whole lot. The Kilowattrel's obviously very strange, but it's not something that I really talked about a whole lot because I've been talking to Arnie about playing the Kilowattrel a little bit off stream. And it's real good, and it certainly showed its value there. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with our final Swiss round, round number 6, in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.